Today we are talking about onboarding a remote design team. You know, in the past, company would just throw new designers in the deep end and hope they could swim. Some would float, others would sink, and then companies would have to spend more time and money replacing those who sunk. And it doesn't come for free. According to Glassdoor, the average company in the US spends about $4,000 to hire a new employee, and it takes up to 52 days. Believe me, it's much cheaper to pass through a short swimming course, or onboarding as they call it in the product teams. Hi, I'm Ilya, the founder of Eleken, a product design agency for SaaS, and today I will tell you how to create the best onboarding experience for remote designers and to make sure none of them would sink. Why onboarding is so problematic? Because bad onboarding makes you lose that's so hard to find talent. And it's not just hypothetical. Studies show that organizations with well-organized onboarding process improve the retention of new employees by 82% and their productivity by over 70%. When you're not paying enough attention to onboarding, you lose both people and money. It is proven that companies with weak onboarding programs are more likely to lose a new hire in the first year or earlier. That's where we come to a common question. Why agencies are more expensive than hiring an in-house designer? Because at least we save clients those $4,000 in 52 days. When clients come to a design agency, they don't have to worry about teaching the designers how to swim. It's our job to onboard them smoothly and save time and effort for the team. We want to make sure they hit the ground running and deliver great work for you. How do we do that? Here are some tips that will help you to overcome the main challenges. Challenge number 1. Too many people. It seems logical to start by inviting a newbie to a weekly meeting, right? But that's part of swim and sunk method. I suggest you to start differently. Schedule a one-on-one call. One-on-one call is not exactly a pro tip, but it's important what you say on this call. How it all started? Why do you want to create this product? What is the main purpose? The current state of the project. Do you have an idea, concept, prototype, test version, existing product that you want to refine, and the features of the product is supposed to have and already possess? Your plans. What do you want to achieve with design in the medium term? Your expectations from the designers. What kind of help and assistance do you expect to receive from the designers? And finally, what is the first thing you want the designer to do for you? UX audit, design for a certain screen, redesign of the certain already existing screens, and so on. After that, let the designer ask you all of the questions they have. It's much easier to do that in person than in group call. The common problem is that more questions arise constantly. The more questions, the better. But your Slack chat is full of questions, you don't always have time to answer them, and the designer may feel awkward bothering you all the time. Solution: schedule regular meetings for the first period. That way, they can ask all the questions at once and receive regular feedback. Note, all this doesn't mean that communications should be limited to one person. No, I always say that designer needs to be in contact with developers, product managers, researchers, and whoever else is working on the product. A good continuation on the onboarding is when the designer gets an appointment with a representative for each department. Stakeholders, other designers, developers, marketers, customer service, or else. Make sure to share all the team members' emails, explain their roles, and introduce the newcomer to all relevant Slack channels. And don't forget about the channel where you share memes. Too much information. The amount of information the new designer needs to learn when they start working is huge. What can we do about that? Make it less? No way. All the info there is should be given. That's what our design director Maxim says about onboarding. Let the NDA take off our privacy. Here are just some of the things that have to be shared with the designer. Access to profiles and team workspaces on different apps. Content, images, copy texts, Figma sketch files, and wireframes, existing designs, sketches, and so on. Data on user feedback. Records of user interviews. Access to Hotjar, Pando, or Google Analytics. User journey maps, mood boards, company's brand book. Just seeing this list is already overwhelming, and it's not complete. So how can you help newbies to navigate all this info? Well, you have to present it in a way that is easy to digest. Personally, I like to use Notion for that. You can use the Team Wiki template, or better, create your own custom page where all the important info can be seen easily. Even a very well-structured Google Disk database is hard to navigate. Create a page in Notion and place links to all the important files of your Google Disk. That way, a new designer will always know where to find the info they need. Too much onboarding. There is never too much onboarding for a newcomer, but all of that can be too much for the person who does the onboarding, especially if you hire a lot. Even when you have a dedicated HR professional, there is a lot of has to be done by the product team lead or a lead designer. They are busy people. Thankfully, there are a lot of tools that can help to automate the onboarding. It can be as easy as the checklist checklist in Notion or set a pre-made task to Kanban board. Or you can use a special software. For example, PeopleForce, highly recommended by HR Manager. It can guide new employees through the onboarding process and even provide analytics to see how the process went. Also, Personio and Quali provide some interesting features for onboarding automation. Check them out if you are serious about onboarding. But fancy software is not essential. You can use whatever is at hand. Notion pages, short videos in Loom, comments in Figma. Just make a detailed onboarding scenario and think of ways to automate or just distribute the task between several team members. Final thoughts. Sometimes onboarding is harder than you expected it to be, but it's always worth the effort because at the end you get a motivated and knowledgeable team member who learn how to swim. Please share your onboarding related challenges in the comments. I put videos on SaaS business and product design 2 times a week, so please subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss out on them. See you soon!